Residents expect the best in protection from both police and fire, and there is a growing trend nationwide to cross-train personnel as both police officers and firefighters.
And the first thing you want to be able to do is to provide the service that you need. Make sure you can respond to the calls and do the job you need to do. I mean, that's job one. But you also want to do it as efficiently as you can. You want to be a good steward of the taxpayers' money, so you want to look at that aspect too. The efficient department is the one that's going to use those people efficiently with the least amount of downtime.
Cedar Falls began to cross-train police officers and firefighters back in 2005 as a way to reduce that downtime and maximize personnel.
And if you have people that can do two jobs in one, you have less people standing by and you have more people.
More than 130 communities across the country have transitioned to a public safety model to ensure they have the staff required for both police and fire protection.
What we're doing is we're offering firefighters at times that we need them to supplement the 5 or 6 firefighters that we have in the fire stations. We're actually going to end up with more personnel on scene at an emergency incident than we've ever had before.
You may have 30 full-time firefighters, but if you have 15 police officers cross-trained, you have 45 people now available to respond to a fire. Or if you have some of those firefighters and do policing duties, you'll have more people that are able to respond to that policing when needed.
Cedar Falls Fire Rescue reached its peak in staffing with 40 full-time firefighters in 1979 under Fire Chief Dale Holmes. At the time, the fire department was responsible for the ambulance service and dispatch. The paramedic service is now handled by Sartori, while Black Hawk County handles dispatch. Cedar Falls has grown significantly since the late 70s, yet in spite of that growth, the actual number of serious fire calls has gone down by nearly 60% over the past 4 decades.
The number of fires nationwide has dropped significantly. When I came on the fire department, we had fires quite frequently. We didn't have the installation of smoke alarms and fire sprinklers and those types of things that are now in a lot of the buildings that we have.
That can be contributed to fire prevention education, the mandates and construction, the way we have to build things.
Cedar Falls currently has 27 full-time firefighters. By February of 2018, Cedar Falls will have more than 20 police officers cross-trained as firefighters.
It actually gives the citizens better service than they've ever had in their life.
These public safety officers, along with alternative staff cross-trained as firefighters, brings the number of available firefighters to more than 50.
The newer model that we've developed is actually more effective because it puts more firefighters on an emergency scene when we truly need that help.
Did you know that Cedar Falls actually has a history of police and firefighters crossing over to serve where needed, dating back as early as the 1940s? On July 31st, 1945, Everett Luke Dutcher was a full-time police officer and volunteer firefighter when a call came in of a garage fire.
Well, in July of 1945, the Cedar Falls Fire Department was responding to a garage fire near 14th and Walnut.
And as they ran to the scene on some of these fires, the firefighters would jump on the side of the fire truck with their fire gear and take off and go to a fire. There was no seat belts, there was no safety equipment. They'd throw on a helmet and a coat and they'd go and help fight a fire.
And there was a collision with a train at the intersection of 3rd and Iowa. And as a result of that accident, 2 firemen were injured and police officer Everett Dutcher was killed in the line of duty.
Everett Dutcher is the only Cedar Falls police officer or firefighter ever killed in the line of duty. Dutcher had a commitment to serve and protect his community. It was a call to put his life on the line no matter which uniform he was wearing.
Well, I think Everett Dutcher is a great example of cross-training and everybody working together for one common good. We have an example from 1945 where a police officer paid the ultimate sacrifice, serving the citizens of Cedar Falls, when the incident he was responding to was a fire.
Today, Cedar Falls public safety officers, police officers, and firefighters follow that same example, to serve where needed, no matter the call.